Hi guys, good morning, happy Sunday. I hope you're waking up here with your morning coffee, tuning in just to see what the astrology forecast for this week will be. Just want to give a shout out to you guys who got your free gift last week. It's all being processed and probably shipped to you from the shipping company. And we do have something for you here at the end of this video as well, so stay tuned for that. But here we go. This is for week of September 30th through that of October 6th. And it's going to be a week where we're going to process through various things. Now, we did talk about Venus and Scorpio last week, and we're going to be tuning in on that for quite some time yet to come. Why? Because now Venus is slowing down in the sign of Scorpio, and it is because it's getting all ready and prepared to go retrograde. So this is the main thing I want to talk to you about here for this week. 10 degrees for anybody who has any personal planets at 10 degrees Scorpio or anywhere else in your chart. That is where Venus is angling on and beaming from to your personal specific points. But in this, Venus is all about love and romance. It's also about beauty. It's about money. Now when it goes retrograde, it will be for some time. So anybody thinking you want to do something, haircuts or have plastic surgery, that kind of thing, not a good time to have that done between October 6th and that of, let me see, that would be November 16th. Right? I would say let it go into December before you do anything major, because when it slows down, it just hangs there for a week or two before it really picks up full speed again. So December is a good time. But in this phase, what we want to now work on up until Saturday when it goes retrograde is looking at what you have going around you right now in your projects, where you're passionately focused, whether that project may be your significant other, right? Relationships, or it could also be in the work that you do. Whatever that may be right now, it's like finalize what you can before the retrograde takes place, because that's going to send you on a spin for these weeks where you will see that there's actually situations from the past that's going to come back into the picture. That can be situations, it can be people, it could be past boyfriends, girlfriends that might resurface, and it's a karmic time. Anytime we have retrogrades, it's very karmic with the people we interact with, especially with all those unsolved or undealt with situations. And so you will see how you're going to be plowing through and working through that for the next couple of months. But this week, having it here, you might see that there's still things that you need to rush to have done. Do it now. Right, this week. If you're going to go purchasing anything big, have it done this week before Saturday. Even though we're cutting it close, because the planet is already slowing down as we speak here today, right? It's sitting on that 10 degree slow down mark. So, but you should still be good for it. And then we also have, of course, the moon as we move into Monday. Here on Sunday, we're still in the sign of Gemini, so it's all that communication. When we have the moon in Gemini, we're all chatty. We share, we talk, and so forth, and out and about, and curious, and so forth. But then Monday, Tuesday, the moon will be in Cancer, and that just brings more emotions to the forefront. You know, Gemini is that intellectual energy that goes, but the moon, your emotions, which represents your emotions, will move into the sign of Cancer, which is all about family, security, structure, the things that are close to heart and so forth, anything creative. Great time to do that, Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, great days. Here coming into Friday, actually, Thursday, Friday, would be when the moon is in Leo. And, you know, that just brings that Leo energy out in all of us, which is very playful, and it wants to challenge things around one. It's full of joy, full of activity. It's very extroverted. The Cancerian energy there, Tuesday, Wednesday, is a little bit more, should I say, on the, I won't say introverted, but it is more internal feelings, whereas now you're coming out to the being a little bit more extroverted Thursday, Friday, which is really, really good. And then we will move into Virgo, that of Saturday, right? And that will follow straight to our next reading next Sunday. Virgo is when we organize things. All of us will feel that we want to organize this, or that, right? Because they're practical, down to earth. They're good at getting things done, straightened up. So try to kind of pinpoint next weekend, maybe to do a couple of projects around the house, for example, would be a great way to do so, or to have those conversations with whoever you need to have a deeper conversation with. Because why? When the moon is in Virgo, it's objective, and it's rational, so that things don't go off the deep end. Like if it's in a very emotional sign, then our emotions would be anywhere. But this is a really good time to structure any kind of very decisive type conversations. So that's for next week. In the meanwhile, our physical energy, Mars in Aquarius, is still working for us, and we will have that straight through, the whole month of October. Here, for those of you who have any planets 5 degrees in any of your signs, this is where Mars is aiming from now, from the sign of Aquarius, which will trigger you and your energy so that you can align yourself with any kind of practical things. Mars is always the action taker, right? And it being in the sign of Aquarius allows us to explore. This is the nice thing about Aquarius. It likes adventure, it likes to explore, it likes to try new things. So you might just find yourself really wanting to go off into new territory. Good for you, right? So we can see that it is a week that has a lot to do with especially figuring out where our Scorpion energies are. Venus is really going to hit home for most of us. That Scorpion energy, we will all feel it, even though you're not a Scorpio, right? But when Venus is there, it will pick that sign of your chart and bring that to the surface. You're going to feel more intense, more passionate, and you'll see people around you too being very much so the same way, because we're all under that influence that things are really important right now. And Scorpio won't let go. It will turn every single stone to find its answer. It's ready to dig deep. So you be ready to dig deep too, right? And do recognize this in people around you, that they might be a little bit more intense than what you're used to, but that's all good though, because sometimes we do need to go to those realms. The beauty is that the sun is moving through Libra, so happy birthday, you Libras, birthday this week, right? And it will help to balance those scales. Now, see, Venus rules Libra, so we get a lot of that beautiful Venusian energy in, and the balance of the scales of the Liberian nature will also help us balance our natures and those things that are important to us. This is a time of the year where we can really get into that harmony within ourselves as well. And so, yes, Venus is important this week. It's all about how we look, what we're doing. You might be looking into your wardrobe. I mean, autumn is upon us. You might be changing out your wardrobe, maybe shopping for new. Great time to do it, but do it this week. You really don't want to spend money on at least any kind of expensive items from next week onwards for some time, right? So yeah, so when we have that, what else can we talk about here for this week, which seems to be quite important? Well, we got that Uranus and Saturn trine still in effect, and Uranus is retrograde, but the trine itself is good, because for you guys, listen, there's things in your life right now which I can see that you're trying to cultivate, to bring new aspects into. And when we step out into new territory, which Uranus can be doing for us, right? Because it really loves to explore all that new, which is great. But if we just jump out into this new territory without a safety net, well, then we never really do know how the outcome is going to be. Are we going to fly? Or are we going to hurt ourselves? Saturn's coming in as a precautionary energy to secure you. So whatever it is you're doing, this week too is allowing you to look at, how can I structure, how can I secure, how can I bring roots these new experiences that I'm opening myself to. And I can see that so many of you right now are going through, I won't call it turmoil. Some of you might have that depending on what's else showing up in your personal charts, but some of you are going through turmoil. Others are breaking free. And when we liberate, that's a wonderful thing. It sets us free, right? But sometimes in order to get to that liberation and freedom, we got to break away from something else. And that is where I can say some of the turmoil may come into the picture, which is leaving some of you feeling maybe a little ungrounded, right? And like, now what? And I get that from a few of my clients these days. And so the thing is, trust it. Saturn is here to establish security for you and give you roots in this new area. So for that, I think it's really great that we have this in effect, and it's moving slowly, which is a good thing because nothing is built of any big, huge nature overnight, right? It takes time. These two planets are moving slowly, and especially Uranus, because Uranus now is moving in retrograde. And so it's more pretty much like a standstill, right? While Saturn gets in there and gets to work its magic, to affect it with good roots and whatnot. So, this is what I wanted to bring to you today. And I want you to take a sneak peek, a little look here at my gift for you for this week, all right? And it's the same deal. Like last week, it's just cover shipping. The gift is free to all of you for however long they'll last. There's an X amount of numbers that will be sent out free. So all you need to do is to go to the link down below, and you can go claim that now, all right? And it is a new moon pendant. And when I think about the new moon, because we always talk about our new moon intentions, don't we? And so I thought that would be a great symbol for me to share with you guys, right? We had the full moon bracelet for those of you who got it last week. And so new moon and full moons, yes, they are very important to all of us that dabble into astrology by planting seeds and then the harvest time, right? So I'm happy to bring this to you, and I will look forward to speaking with you next week. So have a good one, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.